There's something we don't hear a lot of conversation about when we're talking about things you should know before you say I do, and that is how to navigate a controlling and manipulating ex who is still very much involved with your future husband, especially as it relates to sharing children together. And so I am working on a series currently where I'm going to show ladies how you can navigate those murky waters, because whenever there's an ex and children involved, there's always going to be a struggle of some sort. Most of the times, that's been my experience as well as others. And so what I'm here to do is to create I would say, curriculum or a guide to help you navigate those waters. A lot of times we don't realize the stress, we don't realize the true commitment that it takes when you get involved with a man who has an ex and children. And let me be clear, when I say ex, what I'm referring to is an ex-wife or even an ex that has been involved for long term, and let's say children were produced with this said ex. And so whenever I say ex, again, I'm referring to an ex-wife or even a long-term ex-girlfriend, especially when children were produced. Because once children are in the picture, the dynamics of everything changes. And it's not just you and I, but you have to facilitate a healthy relationship, a healthy home, and healthy boundaries so that everyone involved is able to live a productive, peaceful life as much as possible. That's another story in itself. I'm Coach Verlyn, and my goal is to help 1 million women be and stay happily married. And this is a conversation that must be had. I've had the question before that says, who checks the X, right? We don't talk about that very often. And that's something else that you have to consider. There are many things that need to be considered before marrying someone that has an ex and children. These are conversations that you have to sit down with your potential husband, and you have to set boundaries. You have to ask the questions. You have to ask the difficult questions, especially in terms of the children, communication, visitation, expectations. There is a whole gamut, a whole conversation that needs to be had. And sometimes you may even want a third party, because when you're talking about someone's children, lots of emotions can be involved. And so what I'm saying is this, ladies, before you jump into it, because you're so in love, before you jump into it because you just got to do it, you have to get married, reconsider everything that entails being a stepmother and being involved, especially when the ex is manipulating and controlling. If she is mature and she has let go and she's at peace with her life, and let's say she's moved on, that would be a good thing. Let's hope that that's the case. But lots of times, even when a woman, an ex-wife, an ex-girlfriend has moved on, the truth of the matter is she usually wants to control her house, and she may want to control yours. So keep that in mind. It doesn't seem like it should work that way. Lots of times it does. There is entitlement. And I'm not going to get into this because I am working on a series. And in this series, I'm going to break down every single thing that I understand and know, as well as answer questions that I've been asked by women who have been in this situation where they have had to manage dealing with a controlling and manipulating ex. And I can assure you it's not an easy thing. I can assure you it's going to take lots of patience, and it's going to take you really being determined that you want your marriage to work. So again, I'm prepping this series. I'm very excited about it. If you have any questions, anything you want to hear me speak about specifically, leave your comment or leave your question inside of the comments, Make sure you subscribe to the channel because I tell you, this next series is going to be fire because this is not something you hear talked about, although it's very prevalent in our community. Unfortunately, all right? I'm not an advocate for divorce. I say that often because I believe families should stay together. But in the cases where it's unavoidable, there should be a system in place, a way that you can navigate so that everybody can have some sort of peace, so that everyone can move on with their lives without the interference of others, all right, in places where they should not be. And that's where the control and the manipulation comes in. And we're going to talk about how and why and how to handle that, all right, without giving up on your marriage. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share. And definitely visit my website, verlyntarleton.com. That's V as in Victor, ERLYN, TARLTON.com. Again, thank you for joining the conversation. Stay tuned for more. In the meantime, may you experience extraordinary love.